Which are those building blocks? Are data sources, data stacking, okay, metadata, and overall controlling and management system. Then data marts will be there, okay, actual data warehouse will be there, and we are having the information systems. Okay, these are all the components or the modules. Okay, so we blocks which can form a data warehouse. Got it? Now today we'll have a discussion on this architecture. Then what is the definition of architecture? The architecture means the structure that brings all the components of a data warehouse together. The structure that brings all the components of a data warehouse together is known as the architecture of the data warehouse. Here, as I told, data sources, stacking, and overall controlling and management system, and information system, metadata, and these storage devices. Okay, all these components brings together, forms a data warehouse architecture. If something is missing, then architecture is not complete. That architecture is not complete. Got it? So all this brings, okay, all the components of a data warehouse together. It is a structure. Then what is the general purpose of data warehouse architecture? The architecture provides the overall framework. The data warehouse architecture provides the overall framework for developing and deploying. See here now, for developing and deploying. Deploying means implementation, installation of your data warehouse, where you will going to build the data warehouse and where you will going to use it, implement it. It is a comprehensive blueprint. Means architecture is a overall blueprint. Got it? You will come to know how it is connected. Okay, how the data stacking is connected between the datas, okay, data warehouse and the sources. How the overall controlling system is connected to various parts. How it is controlling. So by seeing that blueprint, by seeing that architecture, you will come to know. The architecture defines the standards, measurements, general design, and support technique. Always, only blueprint will not going to give you the. It will not call it as an architecture. So architecture means it should define the standards. Which standard you are using, which standard you are applying, which standard you are having. Okay, and what are the measurements? What is the size of the data mart? What is the size of the data warehouse? Okay, and what are the standards of the information systems? What type of information it will provide? Only a textual information or graphical information, audio, video. So this is, and what are the data sources? What kind of data it will going to store? All those things. And these also supports various techniques. It also supports various techniques. So architecture, it is not only a blueprint, it defines architecture, also defines the various standards, different measurements of different components, and general design. Okay, and also supports different techniques. This is called as architecture. Okay, it is the architecture of the data warehouse. Now this data warehouse is having the distinguishing characteristics. Data warehouse is having the distinguishing characteristics. Which are those? One is different objectives and scope. Different objectives and different scopes. It is one of the characteristics of the data warehouse. Second one is data content. What type of data it will going to have it? Okay, what can be done with those datas? A complex analysis and a quick response. As we know that data warehouse is having a huge amount of data which is resided in the data warehouse, and that data needs to be analyzed. When you want to analyze those data, and it is a complex process. After analyzing that complex data, huge data, then there will be a quick response. Flexible and dynamic. So data warehouse should be flexible and dynamic. So it should grow and it should change time as per the timings. As the time passes, so it will going to change the thing. And metadata driven. So we must have the metadata. Okay, from there we can access the structures of the database and check the database, and it is connected to data warehouse. Directly we will not get into the data warehouse. Before getting to the data warehouse, we need to go for metadata, and then we'll go to data warehouse. See here, now we'll look into one by one these things. Different objectives and scope. Architecture to support the requirements and providing a strategic information. The data warehouse has to support the requirements and it should provide the strategic information. That strategic information usually different from information obtained from the information systems, operational systems. Means data stored in the data warehouse is different. The data what we got from the operational database is different. When you provide a information from an operational application, the information content and the quality, the users will be having the limited information. See, because operational data will be a limited data it will be having. The operational databases will be having a limited data. So when we have the limited data, when you get the information out of it, that information could be incomplete. Because many such operational databases are combined and stored all those operational databases information datas into data warehouse. When you get the information from the data warehouse, okay, the data will be used and information will be accurate. Got it? As an example, at a particular time, the user is interested only in the information about one customer and all the related orders. See, I am a customer, I am ordering different products. Got it? So you are interested in this customer. Got it? So from the data warehouse, the user is interested in obtaining the large result sets. A large result set from your data warehouse is all sales of the year broken down into quarters, products and sales regions. Entire year information will be there. From there you can get in which month or in which year, quarterly or half yearly, then a monthly basis you can get my details in which product he has ordered, on which month, and in which product he has ordered for this half yearly, how much, what is the transaction, and in which product he is interested. All that kind of information can be brought. Got it? So objectives are different from the operational database and this, what is that, data warehouse. Therefore, data warehouse architecture must have a components. Therefore, this data warehouse architecture must have the components that will work to provide the data to the users in large volume in a single session. So, this architecture must have the component which supports, which can analyze the huge amount of data and it will give it in the form of result in a single stretch, in a single session. Got it? So that part should be there in the data warehouse architecture. Got it? So defining the scope of the data warehouse is difficult. With respect to scope, it is very difficult for the data warehouse. How do you scope an operational system? How do you scope an operational system? What is that operational system? As I told, a standard example I am quoting you. There are hundreds of big bazaars. Each big bazaar is maintaining their operational database. That is called as operational database. It is not a data warehouse. All those 100 branches operational databases are together. Okay, we keep all those data in that particular place. That space is called as data warehouse. Now, how do you scope this operational system? You consider the group of users, range of functions, the data repository, and the output screens reports. Its scope is very vast. For a data warehouse with the architecture, yes, the blueprint, what are all the factors you must consider for defining the scope? Now, if you want to go for understanding the scope, so you must go for that blueprint and you can see it, what are all its scopes. Later you can expand it. There are several sets of factors to consider. First, you must consider the number and extent of the data sources. How many data sources you can have? Is there any example? Yeah. See here now. These are the data sources. How many data sources you can include? What type of data sources you can have? Okay, scope is very vast. You can have only numeric data types. You can have a structured data. You can have unstructured data. You can go for no SQL. Got it? So scope is expanding. How many legacy systems are you going to extract the data? How many systems you are going to extract? Which softwares you are using to extract the data from the sources? What are the internal sources? Are you planning to include a departmental files, spreadsheet, private database? How many data things you want to include? So scope is not easily measurable. The scope of the architecture may gain be measured in terms of the data information and integration functions. In a data warehouse, data granularity, data volumes are also important considerations. So how much data it will be there? What is the volume of the data? Okay, so all these things needs to be considered. Another consideration is the impact of the data warehouse on the existing operational systems. So this is the data warehouse you are doing, you have, and which operational system will work better. Because of the data extraction, comparisons and reconciliations, you have to determine how much negative impact on the data warehouse will be having on the performance of the operational system. So what is that? So scope and objectives. It is data warehouse is having different objectives for the different data warehouse architectures and different scopes as per the user need, as per the user demand, as per the scope. So you can have different these things. Got it? So different objectives and different scopes for the data architectures of the data warehouse. This is one of the important characteristics. Second one is a data content. The data content, read-only data in the data warehouse sits in the middle of the primary component. Middle as a primary component in the data architecture. Read-only data means once you load your data in the data warehouse, later you cannot do anything with that. You cannot change, you cannot modify, or you cannot delete. Only thing you can do it, you can add the data. That's it. Already I have added 10 data into the data warehouse. Later you can add some more data. Later I will going to add 5. So total it will be having 15 data. I can add all your information, data like your roll numbers, names, first name, last name, date of birth, gender, okay, etc. I am going to add into the database. But once I loaded your information in the data warehouse, that data is read only data. Only you can read it, only you can access it. But you cannot change your name, you cannot change your roll number, you cannot change any of the information which is entered in the data warehouse. You cannot delete also. You cannot delete also. You cannot modify also. Got it? You cannot do anything. Only you can access the information. Only you can access the information. Such data is called as read-only data. That type of data is there in the data warehouse. It sits in the middle of as a primary component. It is a primary component of the data warehouse architecture. In an operational systems, database is important. This is importance. Its importance does not measure up to that a data warehouse data repository. So that data warehouse and database are different. These exhaustive and critical functions do not compare with the data conversions and happens in operational systems. So data once you entered in the data warehouse, you can't do anything. The data in the operational data base and the data in the data warehouse are different. It is a real-time data which is there in the operational database. Here is the historic data which is there in the data warehouse. Later you can take the data from the data source and dump into the data warehouse. But this, once you stored it in this data warehouse, you cannot move it. Got it? This is this thing. In your data warehouse, you keep data integrated from the multiple sources, from the various sources. As I told, a structured database or NoSQL database, okay, from unstructured databases, sources, from files, etc. All those things can be combined and stored it in the data warehouse from the multiple sources. After extracting the data, which by itself is an elaborate process, you transform the data, cleanse it and integrate it in the staging areas. When you have a multiple sources, what you need to do? You can extract those data from those sources. You can clean it. Clean it means you can, wherever it is unwanted data is there, you can remove it. You can make the clean data. Got it? So it is like when you bring a rice from the market, what you will going to do? You just, before going for the cooking, you will going to clean it. No, you will going to remove the things. Got it? You will going to remove the unwanted thing. Only rice you will separate and unwanted things you will going to separate, and you will later you will going to filter it, and the only clean rice you will going to put it in the cooker for the preparation of rice. In the same way, the only data which you needed, that data is segregated from the unwanted thing. Once the data is cleaned and you transform it from the various data format, you make it into single format. Once you format those data and integrate it in the staging areas, means you all integrate it in the staging area. Staging area we discussed, no? Sources, from sources you will get the data into the staging area, from there you will get it into the data repositories. Got it? So only then you move the integrated data into the data warehouse. Once all these things is done in the data content, you are going to do all these things. Then you can repose it in the data warehouse. You can repose it in the data warehouse. Got it? So when we mentioned historical data for the data warehouse, which data in the data warehouse, we are talking about the very high data volume. Means the data is, the volume of the data is very big. Most companies opt to keep data going back for 10 years in the data warehouse. Most of the companies, at least 10 years data has to maintain for their requirement purpose. They want to keep 10 years data. See here now, for your, we all giving you assignments and all those things, your blueprint, blue books, okay, and assignment books, all those things, we need to keep it for some amount of time, at least 3 years. We need to maintain your records, those blue books and all those things, assignment books. Whenever the university people will ask, we need to produce them. What it? So it has to be maintained. Like this, data volume is more. Why it is more? Because companies will be having 10 years data in those data warehouse. Those 10 years data, they use it for the analysis purpose. When they analysis those information, a complex analysis will take place. Because see here now, analyzing your result, a 10 students result is different and 100 students result is making an analysis is different. Okay, and if there are 1000 students, that analysis is becoming more complex, and entire university database, if you want to analyze the entire university results, it is still complex. It is still complex. Got it? So as we know that a data is historic. Historic means a big volume of data. When it is a big volume of data, then complex analysis will take place. Analysis requires more complexity, and when it is more complex, then we need to have a strong system, analysis system, to get the quick response. We can't say that the data is, volume of the data is big or more, then we cannot produce the result in within the given time. No, it has to produce the result within the given stipulated time. We should get the response, quick response. Okay, in the year last 5 years back, what was the happened, what was the sales, then you should give the result within no time. Got it? Because as you go from in the data users, okay, database users, from bottom to, it is a pyramidal structure. When it is a pyramidal structure, who are all comes in this top level, they are all management and highly designated people. Those people will not be having a much time. Within no time, within less time, we try to provide a huge amount of data in the form of report, Got it? So complex analysis and quick response. We need to analyze the entire information, and we should give the response. Response should be very quick enough. Next we have a flexible and dynamic. Especially in the case of design and development of data warehouse, you do not know all the business requirements upfront. So today what is there in the market, probably tomorrow it will not be there. It is like your mobile phones. See now, if you spend a mobile phone, spend 10,000 for your mobile phone, okay, for the same 10,000 or the same this thing, tomorrow you will get a new version with an updated version, okay, with a different features in the market. In the same way, when you build your data warehouse for the today's market, tomorrow it will not be there. The market will going to change. As the market changes, then we need to update ourselves. Example, see here now, I know okay. I'm discussing about flexible and dynamic. Here, using the technique for creating the information packages, you are able to access most of the requirements and dimensionalities dimensionally model and data requirements. The missing part of the requirement shows after your users being to use the data warehouse, some part will be missing. By the time when the users are using the data warehouse, they will bring a queries. They ask for this updation. That time we need to update it. Got it? You have to make sure your data warehouse architecture is flexible. You have to make sure your data warehouse architecture is flexible, which can accommodate additional requirements as and when they surface. So it has to be flexible for all kind of things. We need to include, we need to remove some part of it. Okay, it should not be stagnant, it should not be static. Got it? Additional requirements surface to include the missed items in the business requirements. If at all something is missed out, later we can add it, we can join it. So that flexibility your data warehouse architecture must have. Got it? So if the data warehouse architecture is designed to be flexible and dynamic, then your data warehouse can cater to supplemental requirements as and when they arise. As and when it requires, we need to be flexible and dynamic to produce that missed out requirement. Got it? So this is what the flexibility and dynamic. So this is the main characteristics. So data warehouse architecture is very flexible and dynamic. Because of this characteristics, so it is widely used. It is widely used. Hope it is clear. And metadata driven. What is this metadata driven? As the data moves from the source system to the end users as useful, from where as the data moves from the source systems to the end users. See here now, let me take, these are the end users here who are accessing the data warehouse. From where? From the data sources. From these sources to data end users, move from the source systems to the data end users, which is useful. That data which they have accessed must be useful. It must be a strategic information. Strategic information means what they access the information from that data or from that information, they can plan for some strategies. They can plan for some strategies. See, in the business, when you analyze the data from last 2 years and in 2019, okay, you have business of 10 crore. In 2020, you have the business of, what is that? Again, more than 10 crore. In 2019, business is 10 crore and 2020 it is more than 10 crore. Okay, then what are all the things which made you to, what are the steps you have taken in the 2020 to make your business more than the last year? Then based on that you will going to take the information and again you will going to plan for the 2021, because you want to grow it for your business. You have to, obviously it should be more than, your business should be more than the 2020 business. Got it? So that you can make a strategies. Metadata surrounds the entire movement. Metadata surrounds the entire movement, so we'll be having the metadata. Okay, from there it will surrounds all the movement. The metadata components of the architecture which holds the data about the every phase of the movement. Yet, okay, how much data you delivered, so it will be having the strategies like a figures. Okay, in last month how many entries were made, only which are all made, it is not there. How many entries are made means 10 entries are made, only 10 will be there. Then in the last to last month you have made 20, so that figure will be there. How many entries were there, how many entries were made, so that figure will be there. The data dictionary of the database management system of the operational system is just a paint shadow of the metadata in the data warehouse. So database is a shadow of the metadata, means whatever it is there in that metadata, okay, that shadow will be there in the database. Means main is metadata and database is a secondary component, like that. Okay, when we stand in the outside, okay, our shadow will be there on the ground. Okay, we are like a metadatas, shadows are like a databases. Is it clear? So these are, so this is your architecture. Database data warehouse architecture must contain a metadata, must contain a metadata. So these are the various what is that, characteristics which supported by this data warehouse architectures. Now, hope these things are clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have architecture in three major areas. We have a data warehouse architecture in three major areas. So first one is data acquisition. Acquisition means getting the data, collecting the data, storing those datas. Okay, the various things will be there in that acquisition. So data acquisition, it is the one of the area of a data architecture. Second one is a data storage. Data storage is another what is that, major area in the data warehouse architecture. Data storage is another area in the data warehouse architecture. And third area is information delivery system. Information delivery is a third major area which is there in the data warehouse architecture. So which are the major areas in the data warehouse architecture? One is data acquisition, second one is data storage, and third one is information delivery. Third one is information delivery. These are the three major things. These are the three major things in the what major areas in the data warehouse architectures: data acquisition, data storage, and information delivery. See here now. This part, let me explain. What happened to this? Just a minute, it is not taking. It is becoming slow. What happened to this? Are you able to see the screen? Hello? Am I audible?
No, sir.
Yes,
sir,
sir.
it's not visible, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay, just a
Yes,
minute.
sir, you are audible, sir.
Wait a minute. Okay. Something happened to this. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, it is not responding. Just a minute. Wait for a while. Just a minute, where it is. Okay, got it. It has become very slow. See how much time it is taking. Okay, so this part, this entire architecture we have studied, okay, as a different components or different building blocks of the data warehouse. Now this is one part, this is one part, this is called as data acquisition. This is called as data acquisition. Here we collect all the datas. Here we do collect all the datas, various types of datas, and we keep those things in the data stacking areas, and we do many things here like extraction, cleaning, transforming, etc, etc. Okay, then second part is data storage. Okay, here we have this. Let me choose a different color for this. Just a minute. I need to make it. See now, this is from here, this part, this part is data storage purpose. Either it can be a metadata or a data warehouse or a data marts. All these things are come under the storage, data storage. Got it? So this part is a data storage. Then we have one more, that is, what is that? Information delivery. We have one more part, that is information delivery system. This part is called information delivery system. See here now, this entire architecture is divided into three parts. One is red color is a data acquisition, and this is a data storage which is shown in the blue color, and this orange color or saffron color which is shown here, it is information delivery system. And this management control, it is neither it belongs to data storage only, or it belongs to information delivery only, or it belongs to data acquisition, but it belongs to all of these things. It is entire thing is under the control of this. Okay, this is outside this. Got it? So The entire architecture is divided into three major areas. Data acquisition, data storage, and information delivery. This is how it is there. What is there in the data acquisition? All the different sources will be there and data stacking will be there. What are there in the data storage? Metadata will be there, database will be there, data marts will be there. Okay, all these things are there in the data storage. And what will be there in the information delivery? Various information delivery systems will be there, like OLAP, data mining, etc. All those things will be come under information delivery systems.